past, guys will be playing 40 or 50 games and then be up for all NBA teams. And they play half the season because their numbers will be better because they only play half the games versus somebody who played 70, 68, 72 games. So that's a big difference. Because you can't have dudes playing 45, 50 games and winning first team all NBA. Like, you basically came to work half the time and then got rewarded for it.
He's right, you know.
Word to my mother! Word to my mother! Word to my mother!
Look, man, Jaylen Brown is the face of the league. I don't care what nobody talks about. You know what I mean? There's no player that brings NBA issues to the forefront, thoroughly elaborates on them while giving scathing opinions at times, but also keeping a level of articulation, universal and point-driven. Because what he said about the 65-game rule is also another gem. We'll talk about it right now. We're doing it for GP.
In this shit all day.
As a whole becomes a part, strike to burn, and the flame returns.
Welcome back to the channel. Your boy Matt back with some thoughts, with some opinions, with some reactions. Wipe your feet off as you come in. Hit the like button if you so choose, and hopefully you stay a while. Shout out to the supporters. And with that said, let's take this walk.
So for those who don't know, in the NBA, in order for you to meet regular season awards, the criteria, you have to play in at least 65 out of the 82 games, which is like, I think like 80%, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody do the math. How much percent is that? I'm not sure. And it's funny because people, once again, they moved the bar because at first, when this was around, when it first became a 65 game rule, everybody was in support of it. Like, yeah, like, because at the time people was talking about guys who were, what do they call it? Load managing. And there was a lot of complaints around load managing. There was a lot of cranks around, guys not playing, superstars not playing. And now they moved the criteria to 65. And now it's like, it seems like the popular opinion is that now it's time to get rid of the 65. I was never a fan of the 65 game, for the record. I always thought it should be like 62. Like 65 seemed a bit, just a tad bit high. 62 was like, I thought 62 was solid. But I'm really not mad at 65. Like, I just thought the contrary was that in the past, guys would be playing 40 or 50 games and then be up for all NBA teams. And they play half the season because their numbers would be better because they only play half the games versus somebody who played 70, 68, 72 games. So that's a big difference. So because of that is why I feel like it was needed. Because you can't have dudes playing 45, 50 games and winning first team all NBA. Like, you basically came to work half the time and then got rewarded for it.
He's right, you know.
Word to my mother! Word to my mother! Word to my mother!
Shout out to JB, man. If you ever had the chance to take a look at my Boston Celtics playlist, you'd quickly understand that I've been pro Jaylen Brown from the minute he was drafted. And shit like this is why. Because he's always gonna, I would say covertly address the situation and how it affects him, and overtly address how it affects the masses. In this case, he's also calling up the hypocrisy of the veil of meritocracy in the NBA. When he points out that, all of a sudden people want to change the rule, he acknowledges that it may once again be a slight against him. As he would be one of the ones next in line, like a Cade Cunningham, if the popular picks don't meet 65 games, while also illuminating what seems to be people being upset in general, that those popular picks that they picked won't be eligible. I don't know, where that 62 game shit comes from. Just seems like him trying to be neutral or something like that, knowing that he's still a player. But look, I don't know where all this complaining is coming from the players, and the former players, Gil's Arena and all that shit, and whoever else has spoke on it. Because injuries are part of the game, and nobody is entitled to the season's best awards. That's why there's guaranteed contracts, to cover injuries. There's no guaranteed awards. I mean, like, look, LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan should have more MVPs, all of whom played, I would say, 70 plus games, 90% of their careers. So now we gotta accommodate Jokic or Shea or Wemby if they can't make it to play 65 games? Playing 65 out of 82 to be eligible for the season's best awards is more than accommodating. But what do I know? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you like the content, hit the notification bell. And with that said, hopefully you've been entertained and informed while passing this precious time that we have. And hopefully I've earned your sub. I go by the name of Mac. This has been Doing It for GP. Till next time.
I can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here.
You never did me, I spit the truth. Call you aware, fear-driven niggas get the boot. All of you squares couldn't fit up in my circle. All of us red and will hurt you severe. Slow your roll, nigga, patience is a virtue. Yeah, and a nigga bite any bark. When I black out, how you gon' hide in the dark?
Basically came to work half the time and then got rewarded